What's up, guys? It's KB. Make sure you subscribe to the Underground Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel. Click the bell icon down below so you don't miss a single video from us. And thanks for tuning in to another video from Underground Sports Philadelphia. Now let's get into it.
Philadelphia, baby, you're going to love it. Best sports fans in the world. Actually, the worst, but that's what makes them the best.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome into episode number 730 of Underground Sports Philadelphia, presented by the city of Vineland. It's your boy KB coming at you solo dolo for this week's episode. Just some scheduling conflicts that happened. Harrison was in Indiana, back home, and unfortunately the tornado warnings were going on Wednesday night as I was getting back from Citizens Bank Park. So I pushed the recording to Thursday here as I just got back from Citizens Bank Park again. I'm going to break down the whole Rockies series as the Phillies pull off their first sweep of the season. We're gearing up for one of the biggest heavyweight early season matchups in baseball as the Phillies will play host to the Los Angeles Dodgers this weekend at Citizens Bank Park. It's going to be absolute scenes. We'll break all that down. We will also get into the NL East and MLB run differentials, plus the Platinum Plunk Award standings updates. We will also preview the Final Four, as that is right around the corner. It's coming up this weekend, and we won't want to miss out on that. Plus, we got to get into this Tush Push Witch Hunt. The Tush Push Witch Hunt. Say that 10 times fast. We'll talk about that, as well as the decision has come down from the league that Tush Push will not be banned in 2025. Before we get into everything, though, make sure you guys are following us on the socials at Underground PHI across the board. We're on every social platform. You can follow me at KBIZZL311 on Twitter, KBIZZLE11 on Instagram and Threads. Subscribe to the pod, Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts in audio form. Leave us a 5-star review. It genuinely goes a long way for helping this show continue to grow, helps more people find Underground Sports Philadelphia on audio platforms, which also introduces them to all of our other shows here on the network. So keep subscribing on Apple and Spotify. Keep leaving those 5-star reviews. And let's have ourselves a fun Philly season and a fun summer, and keep the subscribers rolling into what will be a Super Bowl champion defending season for the Birds. So keep subscribing there, and subscribe to the Underground Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel, youtube.com/@Underground Sports Philadelphia. That is where you get full video episodes of this show twice a week, full video episodes of every show on our network, clips, shorts, live streams, original video content. It is all on our YouTube channel. We are 50 subscribers away from 1,100. Let's get there sooner rather than later. Keep on subscribing. youtube.com/@Underground Sports Philadelphia. Leave a like on the video, drop a comment in the comment section, and click that bell icon so you know whenever new videos go live. And this show is proudly presented by the city of Vineland, and the city of Vineland municipal calendar features city-organized, city-sponsored, and city-affiliated events that are of public interest. The calendar, which is accessible at vinelandcity.org, is a good way for residents and visitors to build awareness, remain engaged with city government, and participate in local events. You can also follow the city of Vineland on their social media via Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and YouTube pages. And through these tools, you can stay connected to the community and get important announcements about programs and services offered by the city. Vineland, New Jersey, where it's always growing season. And big thank you to Security 21 Security Systems and Paul J. Gillespie Incorporated for their continued support of this podcast.
I'm Mayor Anthony Finucci. If you're looking for the right location, think Vineland, New Jersey. Our pro-business approach is supported by financial incentives, workforce development programs, and other resources which can give your business a competitive edge. Whether you're starting a new business or expanding to new markets, our business environment, infrastructure, accessibility, and quality of life make Vineland an ideal location. More information about how we can help your business grow can be found at vinelandcity.org. Vineland, New Jersey, where it's always growing season.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Phillies fans alike, the Philadelphia Phillies have swept the Colorado Rockies out of Citizens Bank Park, kicked them back out to Colorado, get them out of here. They pull off the sweep in very fun fashion. We're going to recap the home opener, recap opening night, recap Thursday's matinee, and it is all brought to you by our friends at 47 brand. Guys, I've been rocking 47 brand my whole life. I'm wearing it right now, shirt and hat from 47 brand. They are truly the best in the game when it comes to apparel for your favorite sports team. There's no reason that you shouldn't be standing out in the crowd. You know, look your best when you're repping your favorite sports team with our friends at 47 brand. I was at the 47 store, the flagship store at Citizens Bank Park this whole weekend. I was stopping in to see what was new over at the 47 Alley store. You can do the same or use our link in the description and shop with 47 brand online and check out all of their offerings for your favorite sports team and get free shipping on all orders when you use our link in the description to shop with 47 brand. Again, when you use our link in the description, you get free shipping on all orders when you join the 47 family. And we thank 47 brand for being a proud partner of the podcast. The Phillies pull off the sweep. It all started on opening day on Monday. Your boy was there. I believe this was my first opening day in my lifetime. Myself and CFO Margie went to the game. It was a ton of fun and truly just unbelievable energy, unbelievable vibes at Citizens Bank Park that I don't know if any other team in baseball could ever replicate what Citizens Bank Park does. It was a Monday in March, and it felt like September. It was crazy. It was rowdy. You know, the Rockies go up 1-0 in the 6th inning. It's a battle between Christopher Sanchez. German Marquez pitched really well. But then you chase Marquez from the game. Sanchez gives up the home run. He exits the game. 7 strikeouts, 5 1/3, 1 earned run, 4 hits, 2 walks. But the bullpen comes in, does their job. Ryan Kerkering escapes a little action there. Joe Ross comes in, pitches really well. Alvarado comes in and slams the door shut. And then Jordan Romano comes in and gets the job done. But the Phillies do the thing. We get a Schwarber. We get Kepler and Castellanos going yard in this game to pull the Phillies ahead to win 6-1. 4 runs, 7th inning, 2 runs in the 8th to kind of get those insurance runs. And the Phillies go home with a home opener winner against the Rockies. And you know, I said going into the series, I was telling CFO Margie, who, if you're missing out on CFO Margie content, go check out our socials because she's doing those post-game recaps that we all know and love. I told her, I was like, the Rockies, they have like a couple good players here and there, but overall, they are not a good baseball team. And that kind of proved true this entire, early week series. The players on this team that the Rockies have, there's some solid ones like Brenton Doyle, as goofy as a name that he has, pretty solid ball player. Obviously, Ryan McMahon is very good. Hunter Goodman proved to be a pretty quality offensive player in a lot of instances. You know, he was getting hits that were pretty annoying. He hit the home run against Sanchez in the home opener. Kyle Farmer, kind of that pesky type of player as well. Jordan Beck, same thing. But overall, like, they're not players that you're like clamoring to have, probably outside of Ryan McMahon, on your roster. So it's one of those things that, like, if you're able to find your spots as a pitcher and your offense can produce for you, you're going to beat the Rockies. And the Phillies did just that on Monday, 6-1 victory to improve to 3-1 on the season. And then we go to opening night. Zach Wheeler versus Kyle Freeland. Kyle Freeland's first game back at Citizens Bank Park since the infamous slide into home plate when he was a pinch runner, and kind of just looked like an absolute buffoon, which was very, very funny. And he comes in, pitched pretty solidly, 6 2/3, only 3 strikeouts, 3 earned runs on 9 hits. So to his credit, the Phillies didn't really capitalize all that much on the hits they were getting off of him. The Phillies scored 2 runs in that bottom of the 4th inning. They scored 1 to go 1 for 1 with the Rockies in the 7th. They scored 2 more in the 8th, and they walk away with a 5-1 victory. The Phillies did have 12 hits on opening night, though, and that's one of those things where you want to see a little bit more production from those 12 hits. You scored on a little less than 50% of the hits you got. But positives from this one was that the entire team produced. Trey Turner was 3 for 5. Alec Boehm got a hit and scored a run. He was 1 for 4. Kyle Schwarber had like a nice little defensive swing that turned into a double. That he also scored a run. Drove in a run. Nick Castellanos went 1 for 4 and scored a run. JT Realmuto was 1 for 4, had an RBI and scored a run. Max Kepler continued to stay hot. He walked in this game, just getting on base just like Max Kepler does. Edmundo Sosa is the hottest batter alive right now, and I'm not just talking looks. That boy is on fire. 3 hits in this one, scored a run, drove in 2. Johan Rojas probably had his best game as a Philadelphia Philly, his best game as a pro, potentially, in my opinion, as he went in every facet the way you wanted a Johan Rojas at bat to go. He drove down a bunt that he ended up scoring on. It was a masterclass performance from Rojas in this one. Walked in this game too, 2 hits. Beautiful game from him. Zach Wheeler, 10 strikeouts, only gave up 3 hits and 1 earned run. Matt Strahm came in, had a little bit of trouble, but got out of it. He walked 2 batters, but got 2 strikeouts, and then Jose Alvarado came in to slam the door shut, and the Phillies win 5-1. It was small ball Phillies in this one. Seeing Trey Turner go 3 for 5 at the top of the lineup was very, very intriguing. It was a good sign for the way that this lineup is going to be constructed this year. Topper's gonna mess around with the lineup quite a bit. We're gonna see different looks from this Phillies lineup all season long. It's going to be fun to see how the different lineups perform, and then that gives you more ammunition as the season goes on, as you go into the trade deadline, as you go into the dog days of summer, as you get ready for the playoffs. And I know I'm talking about playoffs here on April 3rd, but that's how you evaluate. You see what your lineups do and how you can make them more effective. And this lineup was very effective because everyone produced while your superstar, who was hitting in the 2-hole, Bryce Harper, went 0 for 5. So you saw the rest of the team kind of pick up the pieces around Bryce, where he's typically the guy you're looking to for offense to get that spark, but the rest of the team provided that, so you didn't need Bryce to be on his A game, although it would have been great. You didn't need it, and you saw this team pick up Bryce Harper and perform, and they win 5-1 on opening night, survived a little rain. It was a good win there for the boys. And then today on Thursday, the Phillies matinee, they pull away, score 3 runs, 1 in the 5th, 1 in the 7th, 1 in the 8th. They give up a run in the 9th as Alvarado came back in to the game, which I wasn't all that big of a fan of. I get, relievers, you want to give them work, but he had just pitched on Wednesday night. Quick turnaround. I wasn't all that big a fan of that decision, but he worked his way out of it, and I think that's the positive there, is that you got to see Jose Alvarado work his way out of a jam that we traditionally have been afraid to see him do in years past. There's been moments where Alvarado gets himself in a jam and he almost becomes a different pitcher. He worked his way out of it, and that was a great sign. Kyle Schwarber goes yard in this game, hits a home run. Bryce Harper, 2 for 4, drove in the game's first run, so to see Bryce bounce back was great. Trey goes 1 for 4 in this game, hitting in the 2-hole again. Alec Boehm 1 for 4. Kepler 1 for 4. He got a run robbed from him, which was quite annoying, but, such is life. JT 3 for 3 with a walk. His best game of the season. He brought his batting average up from 118 to 250 in this game. That was a great sign to see JT perform the way he did. And I don't care if you're saying, oh, it's the Rockies, it's the Rockies. I don't care. JT needed a game like this, and that was great to see. Bryson Stott continued to be fantastic. 2 for 3 with a walk. Brandon Marsh had 2 walks in this game. And that's the key thing, too. You know, in this lineup where you have Marsh hitting last. If Marsh is drawing walks and flipping the lineup over, that's going to be huge when you have Kyle Schwarber or Trey Turner, you know, kind of at the helm doing their thing to make sure that this lineup just continues producing. And now Brandon Marsh did have a base running blunder. That was quite frustrating, to say the least. But at the end of the day, if you're seeing the production there, you know, the Phillies getting 4 walks in this game was huge. To see in Game 2 against the Rockies, the Phillies coming up with, let's see here, they walked twice, Johan Rojas, Max Kepler. To see in the home opener, they walked how many times? Let's take a look here. You know, Trey Turner pulled off that huge walk that got the rally going for the game to inevitably fall into Edmundo Sosa's hands, and the Phillies win that game. The Phillies walking more and showing the plate discipline is my most welcome sign so far in this early go of the season. And if they're going to continue to perform at that clip and be patient. You know, I've seen over the past couple of days Alec Boehm not swinging at the first pitch like we've known him to do. That's a good sign. I'd rather Boehm not swing at the first pitch and potentially ground out or strike out, but work the pitcher's pitch count. You know what I mean? Like, not everything's going to be a hit. It's difficult to get a hit in baseball, for sure. But with Boehm, like, we've seen so many at-bats end because he swings at the first pitch and he's trying to just be home run happy or trying to get something going. I'd rather see Boehm see 5 to 6 pitches and ground out than swing at the first pitch and you make it easy for your opposing pitcher. That's going to be a huge thing for me with the Phillies so far in this early go, and I want to see here how many times they have walked as a team. 25 walks so far. Max Kepler, Brandon Marsh, Nick Castellanos have walked 4 times. Stott's walked 3. Trey's walked 2. And then a number of players have all walked once. At least every player that's appeared for the Phillies as a hitter has walked at least once so far this season, which is huge. 25 walks is massive, which they're at the top of the list. You know, they're in the upper echelon. They're above league average in walks so far this year. League average sitting right around 22. So the Phillies are right there in terms of walks, which is big. That's big if this team's going to succeed, because getting runners on base for this team is going to provide such a spark to make sure that this lineup just continues to rake and continues to produce. And that's what we want to see from this team at the end of the day, is them produce and score runs, make teams demoralized, and that's what's going to be fun. And I think the biggest takeaway from Thursday's matinee was my guy. You guys know I am a fan. I am a supporter of this player and have been for quite some time, and it's been rough seeing him go through these rough patches. But on Thursday, after people booing him on opening day, which I do not condone, I think that was a cowardly move for anybody that booed Taijuan Walker on Monday. Anyone that booed him prior to his start on Thursday, you're a coward. You're kind of a loser, and you need to reevaluate yourself. The dude hasn't done anything wrong this year. I understand the contract may not be what you want to see from a guy who struggled the way he did last year, but it's a new season, and the guy's going to start while Ranger Suarez is out. I'd rather us support the guy, get behind him, and see what he does. You know, don't jump to conclusions before he even throws a pitch this season. And guess what? I tweeted it at 5 minutes before first pitch. I said, I hope Taijuan Walker tosses a gem today. And he did just that in Taijuan Walker fashion. 6 innings of shutout baseball, 3 hits, 1 walk, 4 strikeouts. I couldn't be more proud of Taijuan Walker. Like, that's a guy who does so much for this team. As Rob Thompson says all the time, behind closed doors, he is the ultimate teammate. He is always on that top step. When he wasn't on the playoff roster in 2023, he was up on that top step cheering for the guys. He was up there rooting for everybody. The things that he does in the community, the things that he does for the sport, he is the ultimate pros pro. And sure, is the contract situation not ideal? Sure. But guess what? Number one, there's no salary cap in baseball. Number two, the Phillies offered Taijuan Walker that contract. You shouldn't be mad at Taijuan Walker for signing the contract. Like, that's life-changing money for him. And if he's going to pitch like the way he did on Thursday, 6 innings of shutout baseball, the only pitcher to get a shutout on the homestand so far, that's a great sign. That's a great sign. I couldn't be more proud of Taijuan for going out and balling out, silencing so many people. He talked about how his mom last year was at a game where he was booed and she cried from it. And today she cried, but it was happy tears. And I am so happy for Taijuan. He deserves this. He's worked his tail off to get back to where he feels comfortable. And he doesn't have to be throwing gas. He doesn't need to be throwing 96 miles an hour. If he can be comfortable at the 91 to 93 range, working his off speeds, working his other pitches, that's valuable to this team. So a great outing for Taijuan Walker. One of my stars of the series for sure. Maybe we start doing that, stars of the series with the Phillies. Potentially. So a great start for Taijuan Walker's 2025. And a great start for the homestand for the Philadelphia Phillies as they sweep the Rockies, improve to 5-1, second best record in the National League. And I gotta say, I'm very happy with the way they look so far. You know, there's some things I want to see them improve upon, but I also say it's 6 games into the year. They're also doing a lot of things that I'm loving from them. From starting pitching, which I've said for months, this rotation was going to be fantastic. Nobody wanted to listen to me. Max Kepler looks phenomenal so far. He's fitting in perfectly for the type of player you want him to be. Edmundo Sosa's on fire. And the bullpen is doing their job, and guys are walking. They're taking pitches. That's a great sign for the success of this team, not only for the now, but for the long term. And if you're not excited about the Phillies right now, I don't know what to tell you, because this team is a whole hell of a lot of fun. But let's take a look at the MLB standings, the run differentials, and we'll get into the Platinum Plunk as well. It is brought to you by our friends, our awesome merch partners, PHI Apparel Company. Guys, if you want to stand out in the crowd at a tailgate at Citizens Bank Park, going to Subaru Park, the Wells Fargo Center, you want to rep the Super Bowl champs, PHI Apparel Company is the place to do it. And if you want to support your favorite Philly sports podcast, Underground Sports Philadelphia podcast merch is available at PHI Apparel Company. Stand out in the crowd. Use our link in the description or go to phiapparel.co. And when you go to checkout, use code UNDERGROUND to get 10% off your next merch order from our official merch partners, PHI Apparel Company. Again, code UNDERGROUND for 10% off at phiapparel.co. Stand out in the crowd and rep your favorite Philly sports teams and your favorite Philadelphia sports podcast, Underground Sports Philadelphia, from the official merch partners of the pod, PHI Apparel Company. Let's take a look at the NL East run differentials. The Fightin' Phils in first place at 5-1. They've scored 33 runs, the most in the division. They have given up 17, the fewest in the division for a plus 16 run differential. They sit at the top there. The Miami Marlins are 4-3. They have scored 29. They have given up 32 in very Marlins fashion for a -3 run differential. The Mets are 3-3. They've scored 23 runs. They've given up 19 for a +4 run differential. The Washington Nationals are 1-5. They've given up 21, or I'm sorry, they've scored 21. They've given up 33 for a -12 run differential. And the 0-7 Atlanta Braves have scored 14 runs, have given up 32, and a run differential of -18. The other thing with the Braves, because the Phillies will be playing them after this homestand, Jurickson Profar popped for PEDs, suspended 80 games. That was their big offseason signing. The Braves don't have all that much, money capital with the way that they do contracts and their money laundering, allegedly, with the Atlanta Braves Foundation. Whatever that is, it's very sus that you sign somebody to a contract and then immediately have them donate part of their contract to the Atlanta Braves Foundation. Kind of sus. Profar's also ineligible for the postseason for being suspended for PED use. So he is out 80 games. The Braves are out their big offseason splash signing, and he cannot play in the postseason if the Braves were to make it. It sucks to suck. The Braves are bad. The Braves are bad. They play the Marlins this weekend, so we'll see if they get a win. I don't know. I would love to see the Marlins sweep them and the Braves fall to 0-10, but no team has made the playoffs after starting 0-7 in Major League Baseball, so that's something to keep an eye on, Braves fans. Your season might already be over just as it got going. The St. Louis Cardinals have a +17 run differential. They've scored 42, given up 25. The Chicago Cubs have scored 60, given up 46. They're at a +14 run differential. The Milwaukee Brewers, they fell into those torpedo bets, so they have a -25 run differential. The Cincinnati Reds have a +4 run differential, and the Pittsburgh Pirates have a -12 run differential. The NL Central is wide open. That division is always a mess. And then the incoming Los Angeles Dodgers, which we will preview that series after this here. They're 8-0 with a +22 run differential. They've scored 45, given up 23. The 7-0 San Diego Padres have scored 36 runs. They've only given up 11. They have a +25 run differential. The Giants are 5-1. They have scored 30 runs, given up 16. The Diamondbacks are 4-3. They've scored 45 runs, given up 38. And the Colorado Rockies have scored 11 runs, given up 24, and have a run differential of -13. I want to see who has the most runs given up so far. I think it's the Brewers at 49 through how many games? 7. So they're averaging 7 runs a game given up. Multiply that by 162. Woo! The Brewers are on pace to be one of our 1,000 run teams this year. Holy moly. That's, and by a wide margin. That's crazy. Definitely on that 1,000 runs surrendered watch. We move to the American League run differentials. The Blue Jays at the top of the AL East at 5-2. They have a +1 run differential. The Yankees are 4-2. They have a +21 run differential. The Rays are 4-2. They have a +12 run differential. The Baltimore Orioles are 3-4. They have a +2 run differential. And the Boston Red Sox are 3-4 as well. They also have a +2 run differential. Then we go to the embarrassing AL Central, where every team is 2-4. The Twins are 2-5. The White Sox have a +4 run differential, and I think that is the tiebreaker with that, because they're the only team with a positive run differential. They have a +4. The Guardians have a -9. The Tigers are -3. The Royals are -2, and the Twins are -15. Then we move to the AL West. The Rangers are 5-2. They have a -7 run differential. The Angels are 4-2, have a -9 run differential. The Astros are 3-4, have a -6 run differential. The Mariners are -11 in the run differential category. They're also 3-4. And the Athletics are 2-5 with a -20 run differential. Are they the only division with negative run differential across the board? I believe so. The AL West is the negatives, and the AL East is the positives. That's crazy. That's crazy sauce, everyone. But those are your run differentials, brought to you by PHI Apparel Company. Now let's dive into the Platinum Plunk as my chair rolls over a charger. Not ideal. Let's get into the Platinum Plunk. It's brought to you by our friends over at Kenwood Beer, the official beer partner of Underground Sports Philadelphia. It's a refreshing light beer, just 4.1% ABV, 120 calories, and just 8 grams of carbs. You guys can go to kenwoodbeer.com, click on the beer finder, the old Kenny finder, and see who's got Kenwood Beer on tap in the Philadelphia, Pittsburgh, Maryland, New Jersey, and Delaware areas. You can also get Kenwood Beer at your local liquor stores in those markets. Just use that Kenny finder to see who's got it closest to you. They're ever so close to getting down here to good old Vineland, New Jersey. They are at some shore points now, which is very cool, and they're all over the map. So go to kenwoodbeer.com. Again, use that Kenny finder to see who's got it on tap or in local liquor stores in those markets. Also, check out the Kenny storefront for some awesome Kenwood Beer apparel and merchandise, including the Kenny pint glasses and the beer golf glasses. Must be 21 or older to do so. And, of course, please drink responsibly. The Platinum Plunk Award, if you are new to the podcast, we will update everyone throughout the month of April if you are new. It's where we keep track of the team, Major League Baseball player, and Philadelphia Philly who is hit by the most pitches in a given season. We started keeping track of this last year. We feel like it's a very obscure and yet fun category to keep track of because it lets us know that you're a big team guy and you're willing to take one for the team, to keep a rally going, to keep things moving in the right direction for that inning for your team, to keep a run alive, to keep an inning alive, to potentially win a game for you. So, shout out to Baseball Reference. They are updating 2025 in real time, which is great. Your National League leader in hit by pitches right now, which is the overall baseball leader, Starling Marte with 3 on the year. And the American League leaders, there's 3. Will Castro from the Minnesota Twins, Cedric Mullins from the Baltimore Orioles, and Julio Rodriguez of the Seattle Mariners have all been hit by 2. Your league leader in terms of team hit by pitch is the Kansas City Royals, who have been hit by 5 pitches so far this year. The Dodgers, the Mariners, the Pirates, the Blue Jays, the Astros, the Orioles, the Mets, the Angels, and the Rockies have all been hit by 4. The Cubs, Diamondbacks, Marlins, Yankees, and Brewers, and Guardians, and Rangers, and Twins, and Reds have all been hit by 3. The Cardinals, Giants, Nationals, Padres, Cardinals, Giants, Nationals have all been hit by 2. Padres, Red Sox, Phillies, Rays, Athletics have all been hit by 1. And the final 3 teams who have yet to be hit by a pitch are the Braves, Tigers, and White Sox. Very fun stuff, guys. Very fun stuff. And your Philadelphia Phillies leader in the clubhouse right now for the hit by pitch, the lone hit by pitch, is Kyle Schwarber. Although Bryson Stott did look like he got hit by a pitch a couple days ago, but they ruled it not so much, which is frustrating as all get out. But yes, your Philadelphia Phillies leader right now is the Schwarberian himself, the Schwarbomb King, Kyle Schwarber, with 1 on the season. The Royals are leading here after 1 full week of baseball. And Starling Marte, Will Castro, Cedric Mullins, and Julio Rodriguez are your National League and American League leaders, respectively, so far in the Platinum Plunk standings. Let's move to Final Four coming up this weekend. And it is going to be a Final Four for the ages, in my opinion. As we have allegedly what has been the 4 best teams going toe-to-toe in this bracket here, where you have all 4 1 seeds, like we talked about on Monday's show. And we're going to get some of the best basketball we've seen in a Final Four to lead into a championship game that we've seen in a very long time. You look at the past couple years here where let's go to the just past couple of seasons. In 2024, you had UConn against Purdue. Alabama also made it, as did NC State as an 11 seed. Bama was a 4. Purdue was kind of a fugazi 1 seed, in my opinion. 2023, it was UConn, who was a 4 seed. San Diego State as a 5 seed. Miami as a 5 seed. FAU as a 9 seed. 2022, it was Kansas as a 1, UNC as an 8, Duke as a 2, and Villanova as a 2. 2021, you had Baylor, Gonzaga as 1s, Houston as a 2, UCLA as an 11. 2019, it was Virginia as a 1, Texas Tech as a 3, Auburn as a 5, Michigan State as a 2. 2018, when Nova won it all, it was Nova as a 1, Michigan as a 3, Kansas as a 1, Loyola Chicago as an 11. 2017, UNC and Gonzaga were 1s. Oregon was a 3. South Carolina was a 7. 2016, Nova was a 2. UNC was a 1. Oklahoma was a 2. Syracuse was a 10. 2015 was the closest, where you had Duke, Wisconsin, Kentucky, Michigan State, 3 1s, and then Michigan State was a 7. But it's been since that 2008 season where, things were right there for the taking with the 1s. It was Kansas, Memphis, UNC, UCLA, all as 1s. And I think we're going to get some incredible basketball this weekend. I'm very excited for it. And, it's always fun to see upsets, and we didn't really see that many upsets, not many buzzer beaters, not many, games that fit the one shining moment bill. But I think we're going to get some electric games on Saturday in these Final Fours between these 4 teams. And on the women's side of things, too, which your boy got his women's Final Four correct, which is very fun. And looking at my points, I had a perfect Sweet 16, perfect Elite 8. My Final Four teams are all correct. So as long as I get South Carolina versus UConn in the championship, we'll have a perfect Final Four, perfect championship game matchup. How you doing? Keep it moving. These matchups are going to be electric. UCLA, UConn, South Carolina, Texas. That's exciting stuff right there. It's going to be electric games. So we're poised for some amazing basketball this weekend in the college game for both men and women. We will have streams on Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. We're going to stream the Final Four. We're going to stream the women's Final Four, and it'll be a co-op stream with some golf as well, because right now Steve and I have a legacy parlay going on the Getting the Whole podcast. If you missed that, definitely go check it out, because there's a lot riding for us in terms of legacy for this parlay that we pieced together, which is exciting but also extremely nerve-wracking for sure. Which it is Tony Finau, Hideki Matsuyama, and Denny McCarthy to all finish top 30 in this weekend's PGA Tour event, and Ben Griffin, Siwoo Kim, and Eric Cole to all finish top 40. Right now, just taking a look at the field, Tony Finau is check. Ben Griffin, check. Siwoo Kim. He's got to pick it up. Hideki. He's got to pick it up, but it looks like he's going to make the cut, which is big. Where's Eric Cole? Let's just go to ESPN's website because it'll let me categorize things. Let's go here. So, Tony Finau, check. Ben Griffin, check. Siwoo Kim's got to pick it up. Eric Cole, he's got to pick it up. He still has to tee off today, which is good sign. You know, we don't have to worry there too much because he's still got to play. He's just got to play well. Hideki is back in the mix just about. Has he teed off today? What? Hideki, my boy. Not great. So it's not looking good right now, as Hideki still has 2 holes to play. He's got to really lock in on these final 2 holes to make the cut here. I need him to get to like -2. But if we do have that parlay alive, we will be streaming that in unison with the women's Final Four matchups. And then, or it'll be the women's championship, right? Yeah, because the Final Four is Friday night. And then on Monday, we'll have a stream for the men's championship game as well when we crown a winner of the bracket challenge and all of that. And all of our Final Four action has been brought to you by our friends over at FOCO. Shout out to FOCO. We love FOCO here at Underground Sports Philadelphia. They've been a part of our programs for quite some time now. And they're hooking you guys up now through the end of the tournament. So you still have a little bit of time, but not all that much time left. Use our link in the description. And when you go to checkout, use code Underground10 to get 10% off at checkout on your next purchase now through April 8th. Now through April 8th, get 10% off with code Underground10 when you use our link in the description to shop with our friends at FOCO. They're powering our bracket challenge, so our winner of our bracket challenge is going to get hooked up from FOCO. So again, code Underground10 to get 10% off your next purchase now through the end of the tournament when you use our link in the description and shop with our friends at FOCO. Also, want to talk to you guys about our friends at Paramount Plus. Guys, there's no better way to watch the tournament than with our friends at Paramount Plus. And if you're a student, now through the end of the tournament, now through April 9th, use our link in the description, sign up for Paramount Plus, get 50% off. Get 50% off any Paramount Plus plan when you sign up with our link in the description. Again, if you're a student, sign up for Paramount Plus using our link in the description and get 50% off any Paramount Plus plan. You're getting 50% off a streaming platform in the year of our Lord 2025. Come on now. Use our link in the description. Sign up for Paramount Plus. Don't miss out on the Final Four. Florida versus Auburn, Houston versus Duke at 6:09 Eastern and 8:49 Eastern on Saturday. Streaming on Paramount Plus and, of course, viewable on CBS as well. Check your local listings and use our link in the description. Get started. Sign up for Paramount Plus, especially if you're a student. Get in on the action with our friends at Paramount Plus. Let's get into the final bits here. The Tush Push Witch Hunt. It's over, everyone. For now, that is. The Tush Push will not be banned in 2025. It was very nice to see a lot of coaches stepping up and saying that the Tush Push should not be banned. It got 16 of the 24 votes. It's very funny that this turned into a witch hunt because other teams are jealous that the Eagles are really good at a certain play and they aren't. They aren't. The Green Bay Packers, I've lost so much respect for them as a franchise. They are a bunch of cowards. They are losers and should be embarrassed that they brought this proposal to the table to just look like absolute fools. And according to ESPN, a general manager told them on Monday that the proposal feels like sour grapes because the Packers lost twice to the Eagles in 2024 and the Eagles had become so successful at the play, they're hiding behind player safety. And another coach who has sour grapes is Sean McDermott, who just has a 6'5" quarterback who should be able to run the tush push and just wasn't able to do it properly against the Chiefs to send them to the Super Bowl. Sean McVay, coward. Shout out to Sirianni too for going belt to ass and saying that, Kellen Moore and Jonathan Gannon and Shane Steichen should have his back, and they all did. Mike Vrabel did. Kevin Stefanski did. And a lot of other coaches did. And, officials, I believe Jerry Jones did as well. So, the Tush Push witch hunt has come to a close for now. And I hope when the Eagles take the field this season and are playing against the teams that we all know they'll be playing against, when they take the field against the Commanders, when they take the field against the Bills in Buffalo, when they take the field against the Green Bay Packers at Lambeau Field, when they take the field against the Chiefs, when they take the field against the Rams, do 4 straight tush pushes. Just do it. Run it down their throats. Let's see if there's a... so the Cowboys voted against it as well. So fuck Jerry Jones. Who would have known? So yeah, do it against the Cowboys. Do it against the Packers. Do it against the Giants, Bills, Rams. Do it against those cowards. Fuck the Falcons too. But shout out to the Ravens, the Panthers, the Browns, the Saints, the Colts, the Patriots, Cardinals, and Jets for standing up for the play. And then fuck the Chiefs. Do it against the Commanders as well. Do it against the Lions. Do it against the Bears. Do it against all these teams. Do it against all the teams. The only teams that get clearance are the Panthers, Browns, Saints, Ravens, Colts, Patriots, Cardinals, and Jets, which I don't even think the Eagles play any of those teams this year. Let me double check that. Let's see. Do we have... Here we go. Panthers, Browns, Saints, Ravens, Patriots, Cardinals, and Jets. No, we don't play any of them, so they're all in the clear. And I wonder if them voting in favor of keeping it is because they don't play the Eagles this year, outside of a couple of them. But The witch hunt is over. It was the stupidest thing ever. Those teams should be embarrassed. They should feel embarrassment. And I hope the Eagles run the tush push down their ever-living throats anytime we play against them, because it would be absolute scenes. Before I get out of here, I do want to talk to you guys about our friends over at Devereux Golf. Guys, I got to tell you, this golf brand, they've got the merch that fits my aesthetic like no other. I am such a big fan of Devereux. Their apparel is the best. I literally have multiple tabs open right now with polos and vests and things that I want to get from Devereux. And you guys can do the same. You'll get free domestic shipping on all orders over $150. Plus, you can take 15% off your first order when you use our link in the description and use code WELCOME15 at checkout. Get 15% off your first order with code WELCOME15 when you use our link in the description to shop with our friends at Devereux. Hit the golf course. The weather's getting nice. Look fantastic with our friends at Devereux. Again, code WELCOME15 for 15% off when you use our link in the description to shop with our friends at Devereux. That's all I got for you guys on this one. It's going to be a fun weekend down at Citizens Bank Park. Let me know if you're going to the games. Leave me a voicemail at speakpipe.com/undergroundsportsphiladelphia so that I can hear from you. I want to hear your thoughts. Speakpipe.com/undergroundsportsphiladelphia. Follow us on the socials at undergroundphi across the board. You can follow me at KBIZZL311, KBIZZLE11 on Instagram and Threads. Subscribe to the pod, Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts in audio form. Leave us a 5-star review. It goes a long way for helping this show continue to grow. Helps more people find not only Underground Sports Philadelphia, but our entire catalog of podcasts on the network. Subscribe to the Underground Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel, youtube.com/@undergroundsportsphiladelphia. We're 50 subscribers away from our next milestone. Let's get there sooner rather than later. Smash that like button, ring the bell icon so you know whenever new videos go live, and leave us a comment in the comment section below. And this show is proudly presented by the city of Vineland. And guys, if you are a company looking to expand, relocate, or you're a new business startup, selecting the right location is critical to your success. Vineland, New Jersey offers both an affordable business location and an excellent quality of life. The city's economic development department is a one-stop source for moving your project through the development and approval process. And their goal is to make this process as smooth as possible and to provide the fastest turnaround times in the region. If you're considering potential locations for your operation, contact the Vineland Economic Development Team at 856-794-4100. That's 856-794-4100. Vineland, New Jersey, where it's always growing season. And big thank you to Security 21 Security Systems and Paul J. Gillespie Incorporated for their continued support of this podcast. This has been episode number 730 of Underground Sports Philadelphia. I apologize for the delay. I spent the entire first part of the week at Citizens Bank Park. Had an absolute blast doing it, but we're back on schedule. I'll talk to you guys on Monday, breaking down this Dodgers series, getting ready for another road trip for the Phillies, and whatever the hell else comes across the desk, plus recapping the Final Four and getting ready for the NCAA championship game and crowning a bracket champion later on Monday night. But this has been episode 730 of Underground Sports Philadelphia. I'm your boy KB. Let's go Phils. Let's keep the positive vibes rolling. But until Monday, I'm getting the heck up out of here, and I'm signing off. Peace.